time for another installment of New England Food Safety Talks. And this time we're talking dram shop law. So pay attention and you might learn a few things. The first question that sometimes comes up is, what is dram shop law? And it's dram shop law refers to legal statutes which hold establishments liable, establishments such as bars, restaurants, hotels, if harm has been done by patrons who have been served alcohol irresponsibly. The term dram shop actually refers to an old English term, which goes back way in history when locations or shops over in England used to sell little drinks, and you could walk in there. So that's where the reference dram shop comes into play. A lot of people aren't familiar with that. Dram shop law is part of each state's effort to make sure that alcohol is served responsibly. It's going to be very specific, and you should know the law, but you should also have a good attorney, quite frankly. But by knowing the law, you can make sure that you're doing and making your best effort to follow the law. And that's without exception. So you have to make sure that you're doing the things that are going to act or be part of in the interest of public safety. The first topic to be familiar with is actually liability for overservice. And that simply states in a nutshell that if somebody comes in and is visibly intoxicated and somebody from the staff serves that individual alcohol, and damage happens afterward, or that person later causes injury, drunken driving accident, something terrible along those lines, then the establishment can be held liable for damages. So it's very important to receive proper training on the signs of intoxication, the rates of intoxication, to know when to slow things down, methods to slow things down, because sometimes it's a hard thing to do. The second area to be very, very familiar with is serving alcohol to minors. And that's a really tough topic, because if somebody wants something badly enough, they're going to make every effort to get that. So it can result in liability, even if the minor appears like they're well into their 20s, and it's very hard to do that. The establishment will be held liable for dram shop law violations, and every state is very strict on this point, so there's no wiggle room on that. That's why tips training, serve safe alcohol training, it all goes through the fake ID process, knowing what to look for on the IDs to make sure, let's say in Maine, that the ID is vertical if it's a minor, all the different techniques, looking for splits in the ID, those sorts of things. And there's a wide number of ways that you can kind of prove out whether or not that's an ID that's valid, that's been issued by the state, or if it's been made in somebody's dorm room or someplace like that. And sometimes now they're made overseas and they come in packages where you buy a wallet and the wallet has a fake ID on there. So people are very creative. Now, those of you who own establishments or have been managers at bars for a long time or have been in the industry for a long time, you all know that insurance is required, and against lawsuits and events. But the insurance is very expensive, and if there is an event which is unfavorable or even worse, tragic, then that's not going to help you. And if you have to use that insurance, you're going to have a very, very hard time probably getting insurance in the future, or your rates are going to be astronomical. And the papers and TV, they always are I guess the papers are filled with examples of when a place does get caught serving minors, or when there's been a case of dram shop law violations. Now, Maine, as well as every other state, has training requirements, and New England Food Safety, we do it. We use both the Tips 360 and the Serve Safe alcohol training, and both are fantastic, wonderful programs. It just is a question of which program is the right fit for an establishment or school or college, those sorts of things. But you need to train your folks on signs of intoxication. Um, and any class that we do, we go through what to look for. Some of it's pretty obvious. A lot of it is less obvious, and how to diffuse situations, how to refuse service safely, and what does that mean? I mean, some ways are better than others. I mean, you can't just come out and say to somebody, "You're drunk and I'm not going to serve you." I mean, I guess you could, but that wouldn't be the best way to do that. You want to check IDs properly, and there's a lot of different steps to do that. IDs change very frequently, so it's very important to have, at a minimum, a book, which the alcohol vendors probably can give you free of charge, and make sure it's current. And then document incidents with pen, not pencil, and go through those things. So those are some quick tips on how to manage exposure to dram shop law. I'm not an attorney. You should definitely, if you run into any issue, basically call your attorney, explain to them, don't hold anything back, because their ability to defend your establishment is only as good as the information that they have a lot of times. New England Food Safety does do a lot of training. Our footprint for tips is from southern Maine up to about central Maine, sometimes Bangor. And if you have any questions, or if you want to use us for your alcohol training, check us out at www.youeatsafe.com, or send an email to info@youeatsafe.com, and we can discuss what you're looking for. But stay safe out there.